YouTube, what the crap's going on? It's DLC time for Total War Warhammer. This time it is the Grim and the Grave. There's also a free LC that's out that includes a little bit of things that are added to the game. This is not a faction pack. It's not a campaign pack. It's going to be units and legendary lords, and there's actually a couple of just regular lords. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And there's new maps. So there's 5 new maps that they added. So, and I want to say the maps, and then, of course, Vlad von Karstein are going to be part of the free LC. I don't remember exactly what else is. They've added some pretty neat stuff, though. There are new units, but they've also added a system that's called the Regiments of Renown. It plays in the campaign. It's pretty interesting. I can try and show you how that works. So let's jump into a couple things real quick and just talk about what's been added. So if we go here to the new campaign screen, we're going to jump right on over to the Empire and continue on in. So the legendary lord added for the Empire is Volkmar the Grim. He's the Grand Theogenist of the Cult of Sigmar. So he's basically like a warrior priest. He has access to a horse, war horse, and then the War Altar of Sigmar, which is kind of a magical chariot. And I'll show you this stuff as best I can. So it says he's a melee fighter. You can unlock the War Altar of Sigmar that I just mentioned, and then he has powerful upgrades for flagellant units. That's his flagellant or whatever they're called. So they're basically like a high damage berserker type unit, like a cheaper type berserker type unit for the Empire, and his upgrades for them are pretty significant. And he gets this upgrade here, which is permanent, both of these, but he also has like a little upgrade in his tech tree that you can mess with in the campaign. He starts with a Knights of the Blazing Sun too, which is incredible. These guys are fantastic in the early game at pummeling people. Then basically he's going to start with plenty of these flagellant units. So that's Volkmar. If we switch over to the vampires, you're going to have access to 2 new legendary lords here. One is Helman Gorst. He's the other one that comes with the Grim and the Grave. So you get Gorst and Volkmar that come with this. They're the legendary lords that come with the DLC. And basically Gorst is going to give you extra casualty replenishment rate. And then all the units in Gorst army receive poison attacks, which is going to be nuts. It's going to slow down the enemy massively, and it's going to make it really hard to fight against his troops in melee because of the poison effects. So killing Gorst is going to have to be a pretty big key if you're fighting against him. He's going to start out with a corpse cart, which is kind of like a unit that buffs other units in the battlefield that helps with regeneration, and it has kind of an aura about it. It's not really a melee unit. It's fairly weak. Like I said, it's meant to buff up other things, Graveguard, and then a Regiment of Renown War Beast here, which is a special Dire Wolves. So pretty cool stuff that these guys start with. And then you got Vlad von Karstein, who's in part of the free LC. He starts the Blood Knight, which is ridiculously awesome in early campaign. He gets extra campaign movement range, and then all of the units in his army can Vanguard deploy. Now, fortunately, Darren tells us that this is not the case in multiplayer, but only in campaign, which is good, because Vlad would be the only lord that probably ever gets used with the vampires at that point, because they'd be able to Vanguard deploy absolutely everything. Can you imagine Vanguard deployed Cryptors and Blood Knights? Whew, that would get ugly. So yes, that's the new lords, and yeah, that's how they play in. Let's go take a look at some of the new units that are added, and I will also maybe demonstrate to you the Regiments of Renown system, which is a pretty cool system, and I'm pretty interested to see both what the Creative Assembly does with it going forward and what modders do with it going forward. So I think it should create some interesting additions to the game. So in terms of things that were added, you have available to you 2 new lords, one of which is the legendary lord Volkmar here with the Empire, but you also have this Arch-Lector, who's just kind of like a more standard version of Volkmar the Grim. They also added this cool little system here, so like if I pick Volkmar and he's selected, I can mouse over another unit, and it's going to show you this little comparison thing over there to the right, and with the little flags, the green and red flags, makes it very clear what you're getting with each unit. So pretty sweet addition to the game that makes it really easy to compare units. Very nice change to the UI, and glad to see that. So in terms of new units, Flagellants are a new unit. They are kind of like a cheap berserker type unit. They have no armor, so they're extremely vulnerable to missiles. They're 90 men strong, they're unbreakable, and they have frenzy. And just to remind you all, frenzy in this game means that they cause more damage while their leadership is high. So if you can keep their leadership up, they're going to get damage bonuses, basically. If we take a look down here in the tooltips, they get Strength of the Penitent, which is an ability they can use that lasts for 15 seconds, which gives them resistance to physical damage and extra melee defense. That's pretty darn sweet. And then right here they've got Frenzy, which is constant, and we talked about it. It makes them immune to psychology, gives them an extra charge bonus, and all that stuff if their leadership's good enough. So the Flagellants are a new unit. You're going to see these purple units here. Those are the Regiments of Renown. But one other new unit real quick we'll call out is this Free Company Militia, which is like a short-range crossover between handgunners and a melee unit. They're not as good at handgunners as shooting because they don't have armor-piercing missiles, but they are better than handgunners at fighting and melee, so they're kind of an early campaign unit. They're cheap. It's a decent way to get a little bit of ranged. They can Vanguard deploy, and they're decent in melee. They're not great, they're decent. But you can see here that they're weak against armor, unlike the handgunners who have armor-piercing missiles, so don't be confused on that, but an interesting addition and still kind of a cool unit. Trying to think if there's anything else major that we added, but yeah, if we take a look at the Regiments of Renown, there's definitely some cool units. Let's pick out all of them and add them in here, and we'll take a look at them one by one. You can only pick one of each of these Regiment of Renown units. Oh, here was the other new unit. It was the Knights of the Blazing Sun. So let's pick these guys. Luminarch of Hysh, this rocket battery, and let's just take some zombies over here for them to practice on. We'll get a Necromancer and take away all of his abilities. There we go. So, and I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna put some zombies over here for them to pound on, so that you can see some of these units in action, and I'll show you one of the new maps as well. So I'm gonna jump on to the new map and we'll show off some of these units. Right, I'm here on the battle map with the new units for the Empire, and right away you can see these Knights of the Blazing Sun. These guys have got to be one of the coolest units in the game at this point. Just look at that amazing flaming lance there that, I mean, looks like sunlight coming down. It's beautiful. We've got these guys here, which I believe are the Silver Bullets. Yes, so this is a special handgunner unit in the Regiments of Renown. And then over here we have a special Free Company Militia, which, trying to remember these guys' names here too. Sterling's Revenge is these guys. So there's what the Free Company Militia looks like. In the background here we've got the special Swordsman unit, which is Sigmar's Sons. And then over here we've got the Tattersouls, which this is the Flagellant unit that you're seeing. So these are the dudes with Frenzy. In the back here we've got the Templehof Luminarch with its menacing red mirrors there. The whatever this thing is called, this is the Hammer of the Witches. It's a great cannon. And then we have the special rocket battery over here too, which is the Sunmaker. And then here's the War Author of Sigmar with Volkmar, looking very, very sweet. Over here we've got Zentler's Reichsguard, which, look at the gold on those guys, very sweet looking. And then we've got the Royal Altdorf Griffites. So there they are. And then off in the background, this is actually the map. You can actually see the city of Altdorf off in the background. So this is the outskirts of Altdorf map. Let's watch the Hammer of Witches fire. I like how one of them's like down here in this little ditch. But yeah, here's the Hammer of Witches, those gold cannons. And there's the upgraded rockets. Let's go watch the effect on the army of zombies that I've put together over here and see how that goes. Should see the Hammer of Witches firing away here in a moment as well. There's the improved rocket battery. Lots of rockets on each volley there, because I think that's one of the things it has is improved number of... Okay, there's the Hammer of Witches firing away. Obviously it's not going to be as visible as the rockets. I want you to see some of these other units in action though. Let's watch these Knights of the Blazing Sun. These guys are incredible, and they look incredible too. So yeah, we'll let you get some looks at as many of these units as I can. I'll do another video like this for the vampires tomorrow. We'll talk about them and some more of their units, and I'll keep bringing you more detailed information on the DLC over the next couple of days, so you can make a decision for yourself on whether or not this is something that you want to get. This is available, I believe, Thursday. So yeah, Thursday, what would that be? So tomorrow's the 31st, so is it the 1st or the 2nd? I don't know, it's somewhere around there. I'll put the links in the description. So here's the Knights of the Blazing Sun. blazing right through a bunch of zombies. These guys look absolutely outstanding. Just a beautiful, beautiful unit. And obviously they are a pretty decent cavalry unit. I mean, I haven't gotten to test them head-to-head, do a bunch of stuff. Let's check out the Altdorf Griffites, which looks like they are a halberd unit. So they're going to have a anti-large bonus. And then we've got Zentler's Reichsguard that I want to check out as well, too. So let's check these units out. Here comes the Altdorf Griffites, charging out in front of the city that carries their namesake. So prancing into battle there. And let's watch Zentler's Reichsguard. Oh yeah, looking beautiful. And let's watch the silver bullets start firing here. Again, very good looking units here. And then Stirland's Revenge is now firing as well, so there's the Free Company Militia. Let's get you some more views. Let's get the swordsmen and the flagellants into battle, and let's bring the War Altar of Sigmar up. I'm gonna cease fire with the great cannons and stuff. Let's bring the War Altar up. I guess the Rockets just wanted one more shot there. Let's let you watch the Flagellants fight, and let's watch the War Altar of Sigmar up close. So here's some of the special abilities. You got the Ward Save, the Hammer of Sigmar, another damage resistance, the magic resistance, and then he also has access to banishment that doesn't require any magic. So if we watch all this going on, you can see all the cool stuff on the battlefield. There's the banishment. Here's my Flagellants doing their thing here in battle. These guys have got some interesting decor. Basically smashing people's heads with what looks like a spiky candlestick. Definitely a high damage unit, very interesting. Oh, we didn't get a good look at the Tempelhof Luminarch, which we definitely need to see this. Let's shoot it at the Master Necromancer. This should be interesting. So here comes the Tempelhof. Way to fire at the right target, Luminarch. Shoot at the Necromancer, please. So let's watch the Luminarch back here in the background as it warms up a shot for the Necromancer, and we'll see if it can take him out. Of course, I better get the War Altar out of the way because Luminarch's quite likely to hit me there. Yeah, let's get out of the way here. So that's about to get ugly. You may fire when ready, Luminarch. Obstructed. Well, crap, just shoot the stupid zombies. Oh, it has the net of Amantok too, by the way. It's a 200-meter range net. Let's net of Amantok these guys so that I can fire. There we go. Let's fire the Tempelhof Luminarch now. Alright, we should get a good shot from the Luminarch now. Here it comes. Woo! There's a zombie cleaver if you ever saw it. So there you go. There's some of the new units. They're awesome. I'm enjoying this. I've played a little bit of campaign, and the Regiments of Renown are a pretty cool addition. I like messing around with them in campaign as you level up your Lord. And I'll show this in another video, how when you level up your Lord, you can get these Regiments of Renown. They're kind of like mercenaries. You can't spam them. You're not going to be able to spam them in multiplayer either, so it honestly seems like a pretty cool addition. I'll show you the vampire stuff. We'll talk about some of the other features. Tell me in the chat what it is you'd like to see more of, and I'll bring you that.